Parshas Vayetzei. It says in the pasuk, Bereshis Chof Ches, pasuk Yud Gimel 13, that Yaakov Avinu had a dream. V'hinei malachei Elokim olim v'yordim boi. There were angels of Hashem going up and down the ladder. V'hinei Hashem nitzav olav. Hashem himself was standing there in the dream. Vayomar, and he said, Ani Hashem Elokei Avram Avicha v'Elokei Yitzchak. I am the God of your father Avram and the God of Yitzchak. Rashi comes along, and Rashi says, Afal pi shalei motzinu b'mikra. We never find anywhere that HaKadosh Baruch Hu designates his name even to tzaddikim during their lifetimes, to write Elokei Ploni, because it says a pasuk, Hein b'kedoshav lo yamin. HaKadosh Baruch Hu does not put his full trust into the holy people, because at any moment the Yetzer Hara can make them do things that are wrong. So Hein b'kedoshav lo yamin. It says a pasuk that Hashem does not trust that the kedoshim, that the holy people will be able to overcome the Yetzer Hara. Not necessarily. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu does not designate his name on a tzaddik that's alive, because while he's alive he could still sin. So how come here in the Torah the HaKadosh Baruch Hu said, I am the God of Avram your father and the God of Yitzchak? Yitzchak was still alive. So Rashi says, Kan Yichad Shmoi al Yitzchak. Here HaKadosh Baruch Hu designates his name upon Yitzchak, even though Yitzchak was alive. And here's the reason. Lefisha kohu einav, since his eyes were dimmed. He said he was blind. V'kolu babayis, he was confined to his house. V'hareu kameis, he was like a dead person. V'yetzer hara posak mimenu, and the evil inclination departed from him. He didn't have any Yetzer Hara anymore. So that's why HaKadosh Baruch Hu designated his name upon Yitzchak, even though HaKadosh Baruch Hu b'kedoshav lo yamin. HaKadosh Baruch Hu, even a person that's a Kadosh, doesn't usually do it, but this Kadosh that we're talking about, Yitzchak Avinu, was like a dead person who didn't have a Yetzer Hara. That's what it says in Rashi. And the question is, it seems to imply that if not for the fact that he was blind and he was confined to his house and he was like a dead person and the Yetzer Hara stopped him, if not for that, then HaKadosh Baruch Hu would not designate his name even on Yitzchak. And the question is, Gewalt, isn't there a difference between Kodesh and Kodesh? Isn't there a difference? Even though it says, Hein b'kedoshav lo yamin, even though it says that a holy person, the Yetzer Hara might overpower him, but there's a difference between Kodesh and Kodesh. We're talking about Yitzchak Avinu here. We're talking about the greatest of great, the holiest of holy, the Oila Tamima. Even Yitzchak Avinu, if not for the fact that he was without a Yetzer Hara, he might sin too. How could we say that? There's a difference between, true it says Hein b'kedoshav lo yamin. True it says Hein b'kedoshav lo yamin, but HaKadosh Baruch Hu does not trust that even tzaddikim would necessarily overcome the Yetzer Hara. But here we're talking about a Kodesh like Yitzchak Avinu. How could it be that HaKadosh Baruch Hu would not designate his name to him if not for the fact that he didn't have a Yetzer Hara? Comes along Reb Leib Chasman, Zecher Tzadik Levracha, and tells us an incredible thing. that it seems from here that even though Yitzchak Avinu was such a Ish Kadosh, and he was the patriarch of Klal Yisrael, even though, but if not for the fact that even Yitzchak Avinu would be like a dead person, even Yitzchak Avinu, HaKadosh Baruch Hu would not designate his name upon him, because even a Yitzchak Avinu, if he didn't have the fact that he was like a Yetzer Hara, the Yetzer Hara was departed from him, might also be a victim of the Yetzer Hara. Even a Yetzer Hara, even a tzaddik, even a Kodesh like Yitzchak Avinu. Incredible their hair that Reb Leib Chausman teaches us. The Vilna Gaon understood this very well. The Vilna Gaon, it's brought down that the Vilna Gaon, before he left his home, before he stepped out of his house, reviewed the Mesilas Yesharim, Perek HaZahiris, 13 times before he goes out, because who knows, when you go out, you talk to somebody, you could speak Lashon Hara, you could offend him, how much kedusha, how much zahirus, how a person has to be careful when he comes into contact with others, when he's out of his own environment of his house. Even Vilna Gaon was so afraid that he shouldn't be nichshal, he shouldn't stumble, he shouldn't sin. So this is a message to everybody that there's a strong Yetzer Hara out there, and even a Kodesh like Yitzchak might not be able to survive the onslaught of the Yetzer Hara. How much more does it mean that we have to be careful when we talk to people, when we see people, to be good, to be what Hashem wants us to be? How much more so? Even the Vilna Gaon was afraid when he comes to mingle with people. Who knows if he might fall victim to the Yetzer Hara? Hashem Yazor us. Hashem should help us that we should be able to understand this and to know the Yetzer Hara is very powerful. Even a Yitzchak Avinu, without these points that he had, that he was like dead, he was without a Yetzer Hara, even he might not survive the onslaught of the Yetzer Hara.